Welcome in, beautiful souls. If you're new here, my name is Jane. I was given a download. I don't know, it's been a couple weeks now, but it's about dreams. And it has to do with, I guess it's about what you resonate with at this time because, dreams affect everybody. So there's people, though, that have contacted me and said that they don't dream. Oh, yeah. I wanted to talk about this too. These bracelets that I received from Otter Spirit, they have really enhanced my connection, and I really find them really helpful. These are my big three. So if you're interested in getting your big three to help, you know, shift your energy or move you to a new level or to help enhance your levels, I'll put a link in the description box at the top so you can get a discount, and just use the code that's there. And yeah, I've been using them for a lot of private readings, and it really helps me connect with the clients. So I do find them actually really good. So, and they're really good quality too. All right, so the dreams that they were talking about. So for the people that have contacted me and said that they don't dream, I looked into that a little bit to find out, like, is that the case? That, do people not dream at all? And oh my God, this dog. So I actually ended up finding out that, oh my God, I gotta deal with the dog. Hold on a moment. She's been acting up all day. Do you want to come in? I think she's crying because the cat is in her bed. And she won't kick the cat out. She'll kick the little dog out because she doesn't care about the little dog at all. But the cat, she has respect for the cat. So she won't kick the cat out. She's being a bully today with the little dog. And I don't know what's going on between them. I don't know, because the new moon, the new full moon is in May is happening. Now, don't forget that all these readings are timeless. So it doesn't matter when you find it. It's the right time for you. Okay. So the people that contacted me and said that they don't dream, I did research that a little bit, and I went into some quantum physics. They are actually proving a lot of different things that I didn't realize at this, but anyway, I'm just going to get into it. So they said that we all dream, and that for those that believe that they don't, your dreams are just not remembered, and it could be because of many reasons. And but during REM sleep, so that's where you have the rapid eye movement. That's what REM means. When you're having that, that's where you're in a sleep. Obviously, you're sleeping, but that's when you're in a dream state. And so if you're not having that rapid eye movement, that means you're not reaching that REM sleep, and that could be caused due to stress. It could be you have like a sleep apnea, or you could be drinking too much caffeine. You could be dealing with like depression, because some of the medication can cause like sleep disruptions. Um, Also, you could just be really a really deep sleeper and not remember your dreams. So, there's different types of sleep disorders too. So that could be a factor. And then, of course, insomnia is when you can't sleep. So, I mean, how can you have REM sleep if that's the case? But these have all been proven by experiments, though, that everybody does dream. And if you're not dreaming, these are the reasons that it could be. And because the functions of our dreams is to balance our psychological and our physiological activity that's going on within us, in our, you know what I mean? It's our brain's way of processing, just everything that we take in a day. Because, we're physically moving around, and, mentally, all the stuff that, emotionally, all that stuff that's going in. Let me check here. Okay. Well, they're both angels, so I wasn't sure which one. Okay, so let's move on here and set this aside. Now, the other types of dreams, I actually just did a reading. It probably will come up before this one, and it was about dream walkers. And so, you might resonate with that. I don't know, because, we all have different dreams, but dreams, like I said, affects every one of us. Now, I read something a long time ago about Edgar Casey, and he talks about three states of dreams, like three different types of dream states. And he calls like the number, his main three. He has one is called um, coincident soul telepathy. And then he has the other one, which is called, it's like the karmic connection. And then the third one is like glimpses that are into our future encounters. So I'm just going to go over each one a little bit, just so that we're all kind of on the same page. I don't know if anybody's ever had this happen to them, but like when you're falling asleep and you're on that, you're just on that verge of sleeping, and then you feel like you're falling off the bed or you fell off a wall or whatever, and you're startled awake really quickly. I know that Edgar Casey and quantum, I don't know if the quantum physics uh, views it this way, but I know that Edgar Casey said that he thought it was just like our bodies, or maybe that's the quantum physics said that. I can't remember who did the experiment, but they said that's where your body's just going into a deep relaxation. And I don't agree with that, because I've only had this ever happen to me once or twice in my entire life. And for me, I mean, we all astral plane when we go to sleep. So to me, I feel that that's where when you astral plane, that means your soul leaves your body but is tethered to your belly button by a cord. Okay, so you go off into the astral planes, and you do different things, and you visit different timelines, and you visit people and different things like that. So when you're on the verge of falling asleep, and your soul's like, oh, your body's sleep enough, and then tries to leave, and that's why it makes you feel like you're falling. So that's my experience. That's what I believe is happening, is that our bodies aren't quite asleep when our soul tries to leave. So then our soul snaps back into our body very quickly, and it gives you that startled reaction. So that's my interpretation of it. So I'm going to bring out a few of these while I kind of talk a little bit here. This card here, this gives me like where we go into all the different timelines and the different planes of existence, and people can see us and our souls, and our souls can see them, and we can connect. And, you know, again, this is, this one kind of reminds me here, the fox has been coming out an awful lot lately too. So this kind of reminds me of, how like you're kind of stuck in the, where you fall, like when you're sleeping, like I was just talking about how like your soul's trying to go, but your body's still not quite there and ready yet. Now, through, I'm going to go by a little bit of what Edgar Casey says, because he talks about like when somebody appears in your dreams and it's not by accident, and that this is a meeting place where our subconscious and our super subconscious mind, it's where it comes, it's like a time and a space where we can meet each other, and we can visit, or like a loved one can come and give you some guidance perhaps, or just to keep that love connection that you have with them. It's also a place where you can deal with some like karmic issues. It's also a place where um, where you can like resolve some of like those karmic debts, you know what I mean? Okay, let me pull out a couple cards here and see what else is going on. So the bottom of these decks, there was a few cards, so I wanted to take them. So you have Candula, which is listen to your dreams. And that's the other thing, like they talk about like having a dream. A dream. Oh my God, look at on the bottom, it says get some quality sleep. No joke. That's for those people that are saying that they're not dreaming. So also, what's I doing here? Sorry, I'm kind of... Look, yeah, just when I was talking about, like, you know, when you're neither here nor there, you know, that's that state where you have to be in a complete sleep because you're not quite in the astral yet. You're not quite here and you're not quite there. Okay, so so when Edgar Casey, like, you know, and this is all being proven by, you know, like Edgar Casey, I think he was like way back when, I can't even remember the year that he was doing all this stuff. I mean, like he's like long gone now, but the quantum physics are now proving that what he was saying is actually true. Like they're able to prove that now about the different dream states, that, you know, when we are running into people in our dreams, when people are coming to us in our dreams, that it's not by accident. There's a purpose for it. And so if you're dealing with like a karmic connection, that soul is reaching out to you through the astral planes, and that's to deal with like a karmic debt, like I was saying. It's to deal with like those emotional cords. It's to help with because a soul never leaves things unfinished. And you know, it could be like a soul lesson that, you know, you haven't learned or you need to learn. You know, it's you know, we all play a role in each other's lives. It's how our soul grows, right? So these karmic debts and these karmic lessons that we run into people and have this stuff, it is so that our souls can grow. And, you know, it's a contract usually that, you know, we have created with each other. And even though, like, I know it, you know, it could be like a very painful experience, but, you know, it's still to help expand our souls. Now, the other thing too is when he called, like Edgar Casey calls it that that when our soul is like that, it's not like a coincidence that our souls are connecting in our sleep realm, and that he calls that like soul telepathy. So he refers this as and like this is all coming from your higher self too. So he's saying that you're being visited, but if you're being visited by a soul repeatedly, then this is a message from your higher self that you, one, either you need some healing, you've either learned or you've completed something between you and that soul, and that, or it could be like in a case of guidance, and maybe or forgiveness could be needed. And yeah, and then he says something about you know, that also that there's it could be a way for your soul to be trying to get your attention. So so that's where it comes back to, like, there could be a wound that you didn't heal. It could be some kind of lesson that you did not learn, or maybe some kind of forgiveness that is needed. again, it could be because you're needing guidance or wisdom. And also it's about, if it's coming from a departed one, it's just a way for them to continue to keep that love connection on a soul level. And it brings you comfort too a little bit if I mean, you probably miss them a lot when you wake up, but it probably makes you feel a little bit good at the same time that that they've come to see you and you get to spend a little bit of time with them, even if it was just for a short while, right? Let the fire dragon sleep. No joke, spirit. So, this kind of gives me like where, you're, like, see, and the thing is too, like, this other individual has to be sleeping and you're sleeping so that the souls can connect, you know what I mean, on a different plane of existence here. And then the other thing too, like, you could be dreaming about people that you're just like, yeah, but I dreamt about somebody I'd never even met before. There's actually an explanation for that too, because that could be somebody that, it could be giving you a glimpse of somebody that you're going to meet in a future encounter. And also it could be like, like how I think a lot of people have had this deja vus. Now deja vus for me was always a confirmation that my soul is on the right path, like my soul is in the right place where it needed to be. So that always gave me like that confirmation. But it also has to do of so that's like when you meet somebody and you just really connect with them and you feel like you've already known them for years. That could have been because you were connecting with them in a dream. You might just not have remembered the dream because we don't remember all of our dreams, right? And the other thing too is that's the importance of having that dream journal, because you can just like write down, oh, I met some random woman or some random man or some random kid, and this and that and the other, whatever your dream was about. And then maybe in 10 years or 15 years time, you meet this person and you're just like, oh, this person just seems like I've known, and you say to them, like, I feel like I've known you my whole life. And they're like, yeah, me too. And then, like, you could find that in your dream journal, right? Yeah, look within. Funny spirit. Okay, is there anything else in this deck here? Okay, it's on the bottom. Enhance your romantic side. Okay. What's this one? Full moon. No joke. Release what no longer serves you. That's that full moon that we have coming up. I was just talking about that earlier. The other thing too is on full moons, you can do a releasing and letting go of old traumas and karmic debts and that kind of stuff, right? Okay, let's see here. Realm Bridger. This basically is talking about like going into the different realms. Again, that's like the astral planing. Okay, Spirit. Probably should have taken that card because, they do that all the time. Okay. It's on the bottom. Earth, nurture, nature. You can see how she's sleeping here. Her eyes are closed too. Oh, these are such beautiful cards. The lady, I think that designed these cards, she goes into all these different realms, and she's not able to use words to express what she sees or experiences. So she decided to start painting what she sees so that it would be easier to express it. Like then she can explain to you like what the cards mean and the colors, and she can explain it better, right? Is there another card? I keep thinking there's another card here. Okay, let's see here. Oh my goodness. Ugh, it doesn't want to come out. Crystal keys on the bottom. Okay. Them there. I thought it was odd too. They had me bring out my archetype deck. So I thought that was a little strange, but oh, the card flew in the air. What does that say? Empath. You may be confusing other people's energies with your own. Okay, I think that's what they want here. New door. Your prayers have been answered and a new door is being held open for you. Okay, so what else here, Spirit? Okay, one of these. Don't let your past hold you back. Okay, let's see what we have here. Your root chakra grounded and centered. Yeah. And that's it too, because, like I said, like your body is grounded, here on earth, but your soul is, has gone into a different realm, balanced forces. Yeah, I see how there's two dragons here. They're bringing out these dragons. These are dragons and these are also dragons. This gives me where like the two souls connect together, like they have decided on a soul level to reconnect in the dream state to either like resolve issues or guide each other. You could be guiding them or they could be guiding you. Starlight. Star. Oh, look at this. Wake up call. You're about to discover your life's purpose. Wake up call. This gives me like when you wake up from your dream state to really write down everything in the universal mind, you're about to receive a solution to your problem or concern. Yeah, and this is what could be happening in the dream state. Exactly, Spirit. What's this one here? Step out of your comfort zone, North Node. And the other card was South Node. So it's just the opposite. Star, what are you doing? My dog has this obsession with her feet, and she will literally eat them raw. I have to treat them. I use green tea steeped green tea, and she hates when I put it on her. But it doesn't, like, it doesn't hurt her, it doesn't taste bad or anything, because I know, like, when I'm walking them, she, like, I'll pour it in my hand and she'll drink it. So I don't know why she gets all jiggity about me trying to put her feet in it, but I don't know. They just don't like when you mess with them, right? Because every time I nitpick at them, it's either I'm putting a pill down their throat, or I'm, trimming claws, or brushing them, or blowing them out, or doing something to them. And they just don't like being nitpicked. They just like, leave me alone. Let me exist. Perception. The frequency of perception supports your natural curiosity, moving us beyond our comfort zone to find the edges of what we perceive as real, and to take a good, hard, deep look at it. Yeah, that's exactly what goes on in the dream state. Cosmic flower. The frequency of the cosmic flower activates your remembrance of the place we call home, the core from which we pour our magnificence out into the world. This kind of gives me that energy about, the place that we call home, because, we're more comfortable in the astral plane than we are in, the earthly plane, because that's where, we can, meet the people that we, well, maybe, the karmic debts, we don't, probably not so happy about meeting them, but, it is your soul to try to communicate with you in some way, to, bring some kind of wake-up call, or, there's something going on more than you realize that needs to be dealt with, or you're being visited by a loved one that's passed that you miss dearly, and, want to have time, spend time with. Let the fire dragon sleep. Yeah, and that could be where, I'm getting the impression that, if you're somebody that is having like insomnia, or you're having some kind of sleep disorder, you could be interfering with that connection that you're supposed to be making in the sleep realm, you know what I mean, in the astral. Because you see these ones here, they're so happy to see each other, because you're not there and they're not here, and you're not here and they're not, you know what I mean? Like, you're in different realms, but you're meeting up here in the middle, right? And these are all the different, I mean, that's not what these cards mean, but that's how I'm reading them. Like, your loved one could come and like peek their head out, and it's like, oh, so-and-so here today, or, is so-and-so, I want to be able to see them or meet them or come visit them, or, but you have to be like both at the same time to do that connection. And I know it's not always a happy connection, because again, we do deal with karmic debts and that kind of stuff in those realms. But if you just keep track of your dreams, I mean, you could even be dreaming about being on different planets and all that kind of stuff, right? I mean, look at the woman that did those movies, the movie Harry Potter. She a lot of that stuff she dreamt about, right? Okay, let's see here. Okay. Good grief. There's time getting these cards out. My arm is killing me. I pinched the nerve in my elbow or something, and it's like messing up my arm. transcending convention, stuffiness, and predictable behavior. I don't think that has anything to do with this. Let's see here. Avenger. The desire to balance the scales of justice, righteousness on behalf of society or oneself. Again, this is they're talking about, like, and it has balanced forces right here. So that's definitely where you're dealing with some of this karmic debt stuff. What's this? Virgin. It's in reverse here. So the shadow attribute is fear of intimate union. A fear of intimate union. And it comes right out here with this, where these two are like happy to see each other. You know, maybe you're afraid to meet up with souls in the astral because, you know, it, like, again, like, you wake up and it could be very painful. It's like, you know, reliving it over again, right? Dilettante here, delights in the arts without having to be a professional, alerts you to the danger of becoming superficial in your pursuits. I have no idea what they're talking about. I need a clarifier on that. What is this dilettante thing? Maybe to get the guidance that you need. You know, and I was just talking about how, like, that woman that, I can't remember her name now, that did the Harry Potter, and a lot of it she found out in her dreams. I mean, this could be something that you could be experiencing and learning things in your dreams. Like, you know, see, she's got all these different things. She's gardening, she's painting, she's reading, and she's baking. Okay. Let's see here. What is this? Damsel, and it's in reverse. So the shadow attribute is waiting for a knight to provide you seduction by romantic illusion. Yeah, again, it comes right out on listen to your dreams. So this could be some kind of karmic debt or something. But it's doing some kind of the balancing of the scales, because we have balanced forces, the grounding with the root chakra here and centering. This is about being afraid of the of dealing with the intimate union. And then again, you have about the illusions here in this. I mean, dreams are really hard to decipher, and it takes practice, and it takes a lot of wisdom and okay, because I just split it a couple times to see if it could give me some more information here. So with this shadow attribute here, with this damsel, I think that dreams can become, you know, so fantastical that, you know, it does leave us with, like, oh, they can't be real, or this isn't real, and that kind of energy. But then the Samaritan one comes out and it says it refines your capacity to help those you would prefer to ignore. So again, that brings it back to, you know, people that have probably done you wrong, and these karmic debts. And yeah, I think that's what they really keep going back to, this karmic debts. And, you know, and they're saying here about release what no longer serves you on the full moons. Okay. So that's why they wanted this truth oracle out. I couldn't understand why they would want me to bring out this truth oracle. Passionate love. Thorns. Short. Yeah, I think that has to do with this here. Change, transformation, newborn, evolution. Yeah, it's to change the the key people, core of the problem, pass. Yeah, like I said, these are the people that you didn't want to, you don't want to deal with this karmic stuff here. This is about the pain. Well, and this card here is, look, apple, wisdom, death. Yeah. And it says here, look for, investigation, explore, and search. Just like I was saying, like, you really need to do some searching when it comes to the dream state, because it has different meanings, but it's the key. It's the key to help you. Yeah, you could even be getting an uninvited guest here. Like in your dream state, you could be having somebody come in that you don't want to deal with. It's somebody that's unexpected, but it's for you to look deeper and find out what's going on, because those dreams are the key to your answers, whatever you're trying to solve or whatever's going on currently in your life. Okay, Spirit. Okay. What's going on here? It's too many cards. It's your intuition, your health. Okay, let's see here. Shake these up a little bit. Take this one. This one. This one. It's on the bottom. Rebirth. Yeah, they're bringing up the change a lot here. Yeah. Okay. Let's see what we have here. Courthouse. Yeah, this kind of gives me the universal law. This is something that is provides an additional tool to help, right? Look, yeah, look, both of them, the courthouse and then judication. I think this is where, like, they keep going back to this karmic debt and stuff that's going on, right? With the universal law here. It's a way to help you look and bring you peace. No joke, another rose. With the dove too. It'll cleanse. Yeah, Spirit. Oh, and you'll be celebrating. Yeah. It'll bring in a celebration. You deal with this karmic debt. If you can't deal with it in your waking hours, I mean, it's really hard to do that. You can certainly do that in your astral dream state. Okay, and let me read this here and then close the reading. Okay, dearest you, selfless giving is an elixir to sweet and life-giving and amazing that it should be customary for everyday living. Right now, generosity is being asked of you. Let go of a debt, release an obligation, or do a solid kindness for someone for no other reason than as an exercise of the heart. You will be surprised how quickly a generous heart is repaid. It often doesn't happen in the immediate exchange, so temper your expectations. Know that life has an uncanny way of sending miracles seemingly unrelated to your kindness, yet interconnected in magical ways. The more you act from generosity, the bigger your heart grows and the more love and abundance you will experience. We also know that someone could be entering your life with a generous offer for you. Take it and trust you are worthy and deserving of it. You have to receive, not just give. We love you so much over here. Yeah, see, this is where they're talking about, again, they're trying to help with, through the dream state. There's a lot of things that are at play all the time. In the realms that we can't see, there's a lot of things always going on that, you know, that are there to help us, that are there to help, deal with these debts and to deal with this universal law, to bring us peace, to help you cleanse this old energy, but you have the key within you, that, your dream state. You have the key with you in your waking state, but you also have it in your dream state. So your soul is constantly, you know, constantly going through like a psychological purging and clearing and releasing and learning, and it just goes on, right? That's all I have for you. So I hope this video finds you well, and I hope it made sense. I don't really know, but I'm going to close it and bid you a good day, and I'm going to send you all my love and light. Bye, everyone.